Hey friends, welcome back to Two Bears Homestead. My name is Paul. If you're new here, I hope you stick around. This video is not one of our normal videos. This is going to be more of an explanation as to why I am or have been off of YouTube. So please check out some of our other videos. If this video is not for you, I'm sure you'll like what you see. But for all of you that are my followers and people that have been, keeping up with us, I wanted to explain our absence from YouTube. And really, the long and short of it is it was a family issue. My elderly father fell and broke his back. He fractured his L2 and his L3. This is not the first time. He fractured another one before, but this was serious. For those in the know, the L's, the lumbar ones are, pretty pivotal to pretty much everyday living. So with that, he had to go obviously into the hospital. He is a cardiac patient, so they had to monitor that. And then, of course, then from that he had to go to skilled nursing and then rehab. So he was on all that journey. But the real dynamic involved in all that is he was fine. I mean, he was doing his thing in the hospital and, loving, flirting with the nurses, the whole 9 yards. But it was my stepmother, his wife. She has dementia. So there was that dynamic that we had to figure out, because we call her grandma. Grandma could not be alone. And it's not that she's a danger to herself, but her dementia is so advanced that, she'll forget to eat, she'll forget to bathe, things like that. Things that my father was prompting her, getting her medication in her. So she was definitely not able to self-care. So we all had to take turns staying at the house until we figured out what this was going to look like. So I'm the only adult child between the two families that live here in Florida. So I, bore the brunt of getting all the leg work done and all that. Now, I didn't have to stay at the house too much because other siblings came in, but they couldn't do anything because they couldn't leave. They had to stay with their mother or stepmother, and, she could not be left unattended. So we were able to get a few things done around the house, but a lot of the legwork and the running around fell to me because I'm local. I know where everything is. I know where to go, all that fun stuff. So that was that dynamic. But during all this, my father finally decided, after how many years of poking and prodding, that it's time to go into assisted living. So they are in assisted living as of now. They've been there a few days as I'm recording this video. And but that was a journey because the first place that we had chosen, the first place he had chosen, I should say, didn't work out. We had some suspicions that they were not disclosing stuff to us, and then our suspicions were confirmed. So we had to pull the plug on that and find another place, and we did. And the other place that Dad had chosen was actually number one on his list. It was just a little further away from where he lived, and he wanted to be closer to his, his current home, but it's not his current home. It's his now former home, but he wanted to be closer to where he lived. And the reason being is doctors and all that fun stuff, but the reality is the better choice was the facility that was a little further from his house. And it's not actually closer to my home, so whichever place he had chosen, I was kind of like right smack in the middle. But I do believe the place he has chosen is a better fit for not only his needs, but also for his wife's needs. Because, I think that the place is a little bit more interactive, and that's good for somebody with dementia because, you have to have that stimulation, direction, and redirection for a dementia patient, Alzheimer's patient, whatever. Because if there's nothing, then she'll just sit there. And that's kind of where it was, her care was getting beyond what my father could do, and this little break in his back was just the cherry on the sundae, so to speak, that kind of just pushed him into making the decision. So Dad is self-directing in all his stuff, so he was directing the show from his room, if you will, and so everything that's been done has been done in his direction. So we got it done, but I'll tell you, it was stressful. And it was difficult, a lot of questions. I know nothing about assisted living, so it's a lot of research and a lot of, looking stuff up and, talking to people, getting other people's advice and so forth. But at the end of the day, they are now, as I'm recording this video, they are now in an assisted living facility. By the time you see it, they'll be in there about a week. And Dad seemed to really be responding to it, like the pressure's off. But it was hard because, the home that they lived in was about 2,200 square feet. Maybe it was a little less, but it was full of stuff, like a lot of stuff. And, Dad had to choose what to pull out of his life to take with him to assisted living, and that was tough because, like, I mean, just normal people. Most of us overpack to go on vacation. Well, he doesn't have that luxury to overpack anything because there's just no room in the unit that he's living in. He's down to like 700 square feet. It's like a one-bedroom little apartment with a tiny kitchenette. So, and he's not going to cook. He doesn't want to cook. So there's no like kitchen stuff other than stuff to make bagels and have, maybe fry an egg, that kind of stuff. But no, he doesn't need a big set of pots to make, big pots of marinara and all that stuff. He's not cooking dinner. So we really had to kind of sit and have these conversations in order to get what he needed and wanted out of the house without it being too much. And it was a journey. I can't sugarcoat that. It was tough. I mean, because like he wanted all this stuff. I'm like, there's nowhere to put it all. So we had to figure all that out. And at the end of the day, he's at peace without everything that he's had. And, the home is still there. So if he needs something, we can just simply run in and get it. Or if he wants something that, something in the assisted living that he doesn't want, we can bring it back to the house. So, we got time on that. But the difficult thing was, for my stepmother, or we call her grandma. For grandma was, she is not able to decide what to bring. She is past that point. So that really did fall to her children to make a decision on what to bring for their mother. And, they're all here now as I'm recording this video, and even when you see it, they're all here. And they're all from out of state. So this is the big, they have to drop out of their lives to be here. And it's tough on them. And I understand that because I'm able to have conversations with my father. My brothers and my sisters are able to have conversations with my father, and we're at peace. Like, we know he's 87 years old and he's going to die sooner rather than later. I mean, he's just, he's a cardiac patient. We understand that. We have these conversations with him. It's going to be hard, but it's different for us than it is for my step siblings who their mother's not there. Like, it's, the dementia has robbed them and her of this ability to communicate this, at this stage. And it's really difficult to watch. Not to talk bad, but my stepmother was a little rough around the edges. Like, she's not always easy to get along with, but the fire is gone. Like, it's gone. It's not in her eyes anymore. Like, it's really sad to watch. It breaks my heart. And I can't even imagine it's their mother. And they... now they have to kind of rifle through her stuff and through her life, and they're, it's like, it almost feels like it's an invasion of privacy. Now, my father told me to go through his dresser or whatever it is and get this, and this, and then do whatever. And I felt like it was a little bit of an invasion of privacy, but like he was telling me to do that. So whereas they don't have that luxury, and so they are like going through their mother's stuff, and it's tough. Like, it almost feels disrespectful, to be going through like her drawer where she keeps her personal undergarments. Like, it's like, that's almost disrespectful in a way. So I understand that, and so they don't have that luxury of having these closure conversations with her. So, they're, at this, as I'm doing this video, though, they're staying at the home and they are going through, all their mother's stuff, and, and I'm just letting them do what they need to do because they need this. They need each other, and they need to go through this together. So it's tough though. It's tough to know that somebody's going through my father's home, without one of us there to have any kind of input. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and, we'll have to allow them to have their closure. But I will tell you, this whole process has been very, very difficult on all of us. And that's why I wasn't on YouTube, because I just, I love doing this. I love doing videos. I love playing in my kitchen. I love my gardening, and I love, learning about homesteading. But it became a non-priority, as it should be, because it's about family. And, my father understands that. I'm also not working right now because, I am now, because the dust has settled. But, I didn't work either, so, my father's not lost that, this was difficult on me in that respect, but I'm the only one that has that kind of flexibility in life. Most of my siblings and step-siblings all have, they have limited time they can take off, and, some of them still have young children, and so there's other dynamics. I just have that luxury of not having kids in the home, and being a realtor, I have that flexibility. I can, refer clients out and so forth. But, hurts me financially a little bit, but it's what I had to do. And, when I say that, it sounds like it's like I have the martyr syndrome, and that's certainly not the case. But it's just like I understand that, I had to do what I had to do. My father's obviously my only parent left, because my mother is dead some 30 years now. But it's just the right thing to do, because, he needs an ally. He needs somebody that is his advocate, somebody that's going to be looking for him. And there's absolutely nothing in it for me other than knowing that I'm doing the right thing for my father, and, it helps our relationship as well. But but I do feel this terrible grief for my step siblings and what they're going through. So it's very difficult to just just let them do what they're going to do. So anyway, all this to say, we're back. We're back in YouTube land. We are finally, the dust has settled. I'm back in my kitchen a little bit. I did do some work in the kitchen, like I did some tomato canning and all that stuff. We're at the end of tomato season here. I got like 100 pounds of tomatoes for like $12, and I got like cases of Roma tomatoes for like $6 and $8 a case. I mean, so I was able to get that because tomato season's over here now. So I mean, it's just hot as Hades out there, and it's really hot. I mean, it's disrespectful. It's so hot, and then it rains 6 inches. So our gardening season really is over here for the longevity, the long canning stuff. So I was able to get some of that stuff done, but I did it because it needed to be done. I had to do it because I needed to get it done, and I know that if I don't do it now, then I have to wait at least 6 months to a year in order to do it. So I used whatever free time I had, and I just banged out the canning tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, tomato sauce, blah blah blah. And also, I still have herbs, so I was able to, if I had to run out in the morning, I would run out to my herb garden, cut a bunch of herbs, throw them in the dehydrator, and out the door I went. So I was able to do some stuff like that. But it's not nearly the amount of stuff I like to do in the food preservation, the videos, all that stuff. So, but we're back. So I just wanted to kind of explain all that to you. It was difficult, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have that chapter in my life behind me. I do know the road in front of me, with Dad's, health and all that fun stuff is certainly not, the road is still there. So we're not, done with this journey. But I think the crisis is over now, and we can all just kind of breathe a little bit and let the processes and everything at the assisted living for my father play out, and knowing that we did the best we could for him. So like I said, we're back. When you see this video, I don't even know if I mentioned it yet, but we're going to be in Tennessee. When you're seeing this video, I will be in Tennessee with Rob, and we will be looking at property. We're staying on a farm, and so I'll be getting some footage. We're trying to get our feel for what we want in a land. We may not even wind up in that part of Tennessee, but we have to start somewhere. It's all part of that journey. So because as a realtor here in Florida, I'm in super suburbia, so everything is postage size lots. I can look at a lot and be like, okay, that's a quarter acre. Or I can look at that and say that's a half acre. But up in Tennessee or North Carolina or whatever, I have no idea what the hell 28 acres feels like, or 10 acres. So I don't know what that elbow room is. So this is part of the journey that I need to take, is understanding what this feels like, and also what I can get for the budget that I have. So it's exciting. So we're really looking forward to going to Tennessee, and this trip has been long planned, and come hell or high water, I was going. I was like, I was going to call one of my step siblings, I gotta go. This is, I have a life too. But, but if I had to cancel a trip, I would have. But, I wasn't really intending on canceling it. So we're going to Tennessee. We're going to be looking at property, and hopefully I get some great footage, and, I learned something from this. And also, it's just also a time to just decompress. And, because I do, I have a lot of ideas to put on the video for you, and I want to share it all. So I rambled on a lot. And I want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you sticking through this video. I hope you, go back and check some of our other videos check our other videos, and, kind of, wet your feet back into, what the Two Bears Homestead is about. And we'll just continue on with our journey. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And we will see you after Tennessee. Talk soon.